Hello, everybody. Hey, look, it's me, it's Aaron. Look, it's Jason. We're here to talk to you about the Sooner Nation Fantasy Football League. Woo, man, Jason, 2 weeks down already. This is crazy.
I know it goes by so
Yeah,
fast when we're in the middle of it, but
yeah,
it's a great time of year. Great time of year for sure.
yeah. So the Cobra family had a real life loss this week. Chad McQueen, he passed away earlier this week. He played Dutch in the Cobra Kai. Frankly, he was the most terrifying member of the Cobra Kai, a true Cobra Kai OG. And the Cobras, we're going to dedicate our 2024 season to his memory. And Jason, I understand. Yeah, there he is. There's our guy, Chad McQueen. He is, look at how scary he is. Yeah, so he's our boy this year. Now, Jason, I've heard the Karate Kids are also dedicating their season. Do you want to talk about the Karate Kids dedicating the season to Diddy in his defense? I'll let you take the floor. Go ahead and
I,
tell us
I
about that.
was not ready for that. But yeah, rest in peace to Butch. Are you gonna put a
Dutch,
patch? A Dutch. Sorry, I just
yeah,
saw that. I just saw the patch there on the show. Looks
yeah.
like Butch to me. Are you gonna put a patch of him maybe on a shirt
Oh yeah.
or
I
back
got a
back of the
Cobra's
helmet?
jersey. It would
Yeah.
look real good on a Cobra jersey. Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
it's a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
No, boy, Diddy, I like all celebrities who have YouTube shows are going to distance myself from Puff Daddy Sean Combs. I'm not interested in getting on that plane and understanding that I will distance myself from him in significant ways. Boy, it's not looking good for the rest of his life, I don't think.
Jason, have you ever thought about like our kids one day will be able to just feed this show into an AI? Have I talked to you about this?
No,
Like
no,
our
go ahead.
kids someday could just feed this show into an AI and it could make like we'll be dead and long dead and buried, and our kids can make like this facsimile of us. But all it would be able to do is just talk about dumb football topics. So she'd still come for advice. Daddy, should I marry this boy? And it's like, well, he's in a great system, but there's some character issues that are alarming. I think you're giving up too much in this deal. Like this is a thing that's going to happen. Uh, Although AIA2 sounds like kind of a bad A Star Wars name, so not all bad.
Yeah, so my uh 83-year-old father came up to me at church on Sunday and said, "Hey, does your friend so and so does he invest in stocks?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I got a little extra money rolling around. I would like to invest in some of this AI. Put some money back for each of the girls, his two granddaughters." He's just like, "I just think it's the future, and I just want to whatever he can get me in at the ground floor. We're past the ground floor, but he's like, I just want to put some money into it and just let it ride and see how it does the next 50 years because man, he just thinks it's the future." So from A2 to my 12-year-old to my 84-year-old
Yeah,
father, it seems like it's the future.
yeah,
And
it's funny.
look forward to watching whatever AI facsimile comes up with my girls in the future or grandchildren or great grandchildren.
Right.
What content we're giving them.
Oh,
So
it's gonna be A
yeah,
plus material.
fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, you want to start looking back here?
Yeah, dude, let's
The
go.
week that was.
Let's hit
Yeah,
right off the bat.
man. Josh's juggernaut looks a little less imposing. Had a bunch of big injuries this week, and the
Yeah.
Ghosts were one of those teams that just got walloped. The Tua injury on Thursday night, horrifying. There it is. Yeah, and it set the stage for Jeff's big win. It was a disgusting game for the Dolphins even before got knocked out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it just makes me sad. Rashid Shaheed is looking like the steal of the draft so far for Weiss. Jeff gets the win. Doesn't have a lot to make him feel great though. Derrick Henry's putting up stats, but it's kind of a grind. It seems like
Yeah.
DK Metcalf goes off. The Seattle Air game is like spicy, so that feels pretty good. I mean, this is 2 games now for Laporta, so we'll see what he can come up with moving
Oof.
forward.
I had Laporta being above and beyond the best tight end. This just shows that I have no idea what I'm talking about when it comes to fantasy football because I did not see that guy essentially being a non-factor completely. And then I did like the
Yeah,
late Drake London touchdown last night for Atlanta to
yeah.
Philly, just so Jeff could get over that 100-yard marker to feel
Oh yeah.
victory. So
That is, there's a spiritual thing about going over 100. Yeah.
I I'm sad too about Tua. You mentioned last week on the show that you felt like Josh's team was tied too closely to one successful unit, and man, I'm bummed for Tua and bummed for Josh. So I look forward to seeing what happens, how long he's going to be out.
Yeah.
Wow. As we move along, what a game
Yeah.
we have here.
Yeah. Let me allow me the floor because I got to walk you through the whole week here.
Okay.
We start off Thursday night, and Thursday night was brutal over here in Cobra's headquarters. I got to watch James Cook drop 3 touchdowns on me. He had 6 all of last year, 3 touchdowns on me. Uh, I'm coming off a week where I scored 63 points, and here's James Cook with 27.
Yeah.
So this is one of those where it was like Friday morning. I'm like, well, what's the point? Why do I even turn in a lineup? Sunday afternoon starts. It doesn't get any better because Josh Jacobs is carving up the Colts. They can't throw, so they're leaning on Josh, and he's already got 100 yards. And I'm thinking I'm going 0-2, and then something happens. Josh Jacobs interrupts his amazing game by fumbling into the end zone. Instead of adding 6 points, he loses 2 for the turnover. Big point swing there.
Yeah.
Moments later, here comes Scott Hanson talking about Jonathan Taylor getting hot. Here's Brees Hall with this beautiful touchdown catch. Say Flowers is in the end zone for the score. Meanwhile, Dak Prescott and the Cowboys are just getting annihilated by the Saints. He's throwing up picks. Are they going to pull him at this point? The noon games come to an end. Chris is done. I still have Burrow and Chase. But last week on this very show, we had a funeral for the Bengals. So this is no gimme. Burrow looks better. He looks a whole lot like his old self. And then Jason, my wife, comes home. She's been out to lunch with a friend. She comes home with a chocolate malt from Brahms and a pound of fried catfish from the Cajun King. I was eating Cajun King fried catfish when Burrow delivered me the win over Chris. Hallelujah.
What a Sunday. What a Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh. Now, did you take any satisfaction because it was your old roommate and the father of Caden, who you continue to be a foil on this show, essentially talking down him because he can't respond. Anything you'd like to just to rub it in a little bit to old Caden on the show?
Yes, definitely. I love that we got the win, and I did think about this because it gives me like an extra layer of armor because now I can point to this and be like, scoreboard, baby.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna have to deal with that again for another 2 months.
Yeah.
When Chris and I's rematch? Chris and I's rematch is Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's awesome.
If Chris is starting Dak, if I have switched to Caleb by then, Caleb Williams is also playing on Thanksgiving. It could be a lot of fun.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Hey, you sent me a text this week that was pretty exhilarating because you showed me that. Oh, wait a second here. We've got somebody else. Looks like they're joining the show. Just a second. Let's turn the volume up and see what we've got here. This is
Caden Lauhon's music. Good God.
This is Caden Lauhon's music coming off of a loss. I don't know what he can say, but here goes.
Hello, Sooner Nation. What's going on? I am
man.
Show with legendary football guru and analyst Jason Smith.
Thank you.
Didn't see you there, Aaron. Sorry. Unfortunately, he lost to you, and unfortunately, he's out of Survivor. I have words. You got lucky that Joe Burrow remembered how to throw a football, and Jamar Chase remembered how to catch a football. Very lucky. This was the week of upsets, as literally every good team, I feel like, lost, which was hysterical, and I just wanted to say that. I think you're a Bengals simp, by the way, Aaron.
No. I'm all Cowboys.
Very unfortunate that you won barely.
Anything else you'd like to say? Oh, just a second. Whoa. I interrupted him. We got to hear that again.
Because Dak sucks.
What?
Because Dak sucks.
Oh, no.
Because Dak sucks. Really. Because Dak sucks. I said it. I don't think Dak is good anymore. As a Cowboys fan, more than you realize. This is Caden signing off.
Caden
my God.
Lauhon.
I
Aaron.
wanted him to rip off the Cowboys t-shirt and have like a Baker Mayfield shirt on.
Oh man, shake and bake. That would have been awesome. I want to say thanks to Caden for reaching out to the show, coming on,
man.
And even in a loss, it takes a lot of courage to come on a loss and then tell the world that your quarterback sucks. We'll have to see. Yeah.
Does Chris agree? Is there are they on the same page here, or is there some discord there in Team Mahoney?
I don't know what address they live at, but I'm glad I was not eating Sunday night dinner with them as they were watching their team lose anymore. So I did. Oh, this was the text. This was thanks. This is the text I was talking about. This is real life coming into the fantasy world. Talk us through your feelings when you saw this come down. I thought I believe on Monday.
Yeah. So I follow my players, of course, the starters. I mean, you got to. And so I loved it. Breece Hall, he catches the beautiful touchdown. And of course, he thinks he's going to get drug tested because anytime you make a big play, they want to drug test you. And then here comes Jonathan Taylor, my other running back from a different team. They're friends and they're tweeting each other, and that makes me feel good. Like we've got some real family on the Cobras. Even on different teams, there's a sense of one.
Gosh, you got Cajun King. You got your teams tweeting to one another. You got your first victory of the year. The Bengals are back, and
it feels good.
You got Caden admitting that he lost and that Dak sucks. It's going to be a better show the rest of the way because of how you got to feel looking back. So take us through what I think that was probably ended up not tapped the game of the week, but ended up being the game of the week with last night's performance on Monday Night Football between the Hellhounds sending Chad to 0-2.
Yeah, this one was a lot of fun. Watching them try to crawl back in it, watching Saquon try to get the job done, especially when he drops the touchdown. We're like, oh, that would have done it.
100.
Sean was so sure he was going to lose. On Sunday, he asked me to look up how many times he started 0-2 so I could bring it up on the program.
Wow.
So, that's how you separate the regular fantasy guys from the two true lunatics. Because assuming the worst and counting a loss like way before the game is decided, like that's where a lot of us like to swim in those deep waters. So
absolute sickos.
Lunacy.
Absolute sickos.
Yeah. So maybe last week was an aberration for Marvin Harrison Jr.
Oh my gosh.
Not a lot of positive news for Team Rompers, but man, he's here. He's arrived.
I sent you a text message at 3:17, and I just said Marvin may have been a buy low for 1 week of his career. My goodness, did he look incredible.
Yeah, I wanted to rip that off of you just now when we were talking, but that's not fair. But yeah, 100%. That was like maybe you could have like really sent Chad some huge offer. But no, he's that day right there bought him 3 years.
Yeah, for sure. Congrats to John. The last night, the touchdown from Devonta, the way that Saquon ran. Who did you think was going to win? Apparently John was coaching his JV football team.
Right.
I wonder if John, let us know in the comments on the message board or on the text thread if you got home and watched it like on DVR to see how you did, or if you how did you find out that you won? I'd like to know.
I'll be shocked if the answer is anything but he is watching his score. I mean, come on, he's a lunatic.
Yeah, he is.
He's not driving home not knowing.
Yeah, I couldn't. I'd have to rewatch it. I could not know. I could not know. So, boy, this is a tough one. This is a tough one. So,
almost 100-point win. Almost. Look, I respect Shane as a person for being a good boy and not checking his phone for fantasy football during church. I do not respect him as a fantasy football owner for checking his phone for fantasy football news during church. We knew AJ Brown was going to be out for an hour and a half before kickoff. You know who didn't know? The guy that was sitting in your pews, Jason. It wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered. But so again, tremendous respect for Shane. Like clearly he's not checking this stuff. Like he
sets his lineup and he goes to church and he's just moving towards Christ likeness.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not here for football. I'm here for God. and
Yeah.
this phone's staying in my pocket.
Yeah.
So I respect that, but not on this program. I don't.
Well, I would find solace in the fact that I would have a hard time thinking that A.J. Brown could score 93.4 points.
Yeah. Yeah. Jay had 112 and his quarterback hadn't even gone on the field yet. Like,
Gosh.
this could have been a really fun game coming down to Monday night, but man,
Yeah.
the Sweat Sox just didn't show up.
Yeah.
This is the kind of total that has you questioning if you should be trusted to bring in the garbage cans, like let alone run a fantasy football team. Like, Jay's team was on fire though. Like, every player except Rico Dowdle, and then Alvin Kamara has a few spare points he can give him. Like, Alvin Kamara was like Godzilla, given Dallas's ability to stop him. You remember a few years ago, it was like Kamara and McCaffrey were the two best guys in the league.
Yeah.
And like somehow we still have McCaffrey esteemed up there, and then Kamara's just been available for a couple seasons. If you wanted him, you could have gotten him.
Yeah.
Jay got him. Look at him now.
My goodness.
Yeah.
And the Saints, I did not expect the Saints to come out at 2-0 either and just putting up 40 points a game. Big game. Being able to see all those double-digit point totals on the right for Jay is just he put the league on notice with that 147.9 point game with the setting the bar high for the potential high point scorer game of the year.
Yeah. I guess he's got to be the early leader there.
Early leader for sure. This game I thought was going to be more exciting last night.
Yeah.
But it turned out not to be. So take us to Brandon versus Pharisees, both coming up to 500.
These guys almost combined for Jay's score, just slightly over. There we go. Wow. Yeah, John needed a Bijan Monday Night Miracle coming out party to secure the win, which would have been really cool, but and instead we got the Kirk Cousins party, which is exciting, but not what the Pharisees were hoping for.
Yeah.
Very cool that Malik Neighbors is like already everything we all hoped. Like, that dude, he is dynamic. Like, he almost makes these Giants games tolerable. And then Brock Bowers too, man. Just, I mean, instant usage. He's got 9 targets, 9 receptions. Like, you would take that from any tight end. And this guy's doing it in his second game already. Like, man, that's looking crazy. I want to pose a question to you, Jason. Who's the best quarterback between these two teams? Who would you most want to have? I guess not real life, but like fantasy league.
Including backups or just the players we have on the screens?
And the backups. So you got Trevor Lawrence in play, and well, John Havy's got the guy that just got benched, Bryce Young.
I probably would take Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, that's kind of where I landed. I think Lamar, but I think for me, I'd be like the meme where the guy's passing the babe, and I'd be like looking back at Trevor Lawrence, like just thinking about him and Brian Thomas Jr. Like, I'd be like looking over my shoulder at that babe. But yeah, I think Lamar's the answer.
Yeah. No, I like that. I like that meme too. So, yeah, man, just Brandon coming in with a win with just both of his quarterbacks not looking really great. I mean, it just, he's got to feel good about Malik and Brock, what you just said. And if Bijan, I don't root for anybody here, but I was like, man, if Bijan is able to like take a screen pass to the house in that last drive, it would have been something. But
oh my goodness,
let's go ahead and move along to the Karate Kid.
Yeah,
divides and what was the game of the week.
Yeah, not a lot of drama in our game of the week. Jeremy lost on quarterback roulette. Needed to play Kyler for the big win, but he also backed the wrong Buccaneers receiver. Godwin had the big game on his bench.
Yeah.
These weekly quarterback decisions, they're going to define Jeremy's season. Like, if he can choose the right one, he can make the playoffs, make noise in the playoffs. If he consistently gets it wrong, it's going to be picking top 4 again, I think. Man, Nico Collins is so amazing. Like, I wonder, when Chad sees what Nico Collins and Justin Jefferson are doing, like, does Chad throw up right then, or is he just not paying attention? Nico was open every time Stroud needed him to be.
Yeah, Nico looked incredible. And he looks so big out there. Both of those guys are so young. Just hope that Jefferson can come back healthy here in a couple of weeks. Guy had some injuries there with Pacheco, Walker, and Jefferson. 3 of my kickers both not going to play next week. Pretty tough as far as the injury bug on the Karate Kid.
That was in my notes. You got a lot of guys hurt right now. How concerned are you here? You feel like you got the guys already ready to step in?
It might be a down couple weeks for the Karate Kid, but I feel like I have players in place to be able to get some reps. And then hopefully Pacheco can come back for the stretch run in the playoffs, our fantasy playoffs, and I hope that Jefferson can stay healthy. So I'm not too worried about Walker missing too many weeks. Some early injuries, but they don't seem like soft tissue. They seem more like, the bone break of Pacheco, something that he can come back from. So I'm not too worried, but I am on notice for sure.
Got it.
And then we had
the ref.
Yes,
sign that ref up on your fantasy team.
Yeah, that I'm sure everyone's watches enough football, but I just had to give a shout out to the ref. I've watched that play probably 12, 15 times, and every time my eyes go to the referee and how well and how fast and how incredible he was. So I had to give a shout out to him. Let's go to our league standings. We have, of course, with everybody playing 2 divisional games to start the season. We've got 3 teams that are 2-0, 3 teams that are 0-2, and we've got the rest of the league at 50-50. If you go to the point standings, you can see that it's a runaway with the Vipers.
Holy cow.
Especially with the week that they had there.
Yeah.
And then the Ghosts, because of their injury, really kind of down at the very bottom below Brandon.
That's shocking. If you told us, on the program at the beginning of the season, 2 weeks in, the Ghosts are bottom in points.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would have thought happened.
Nobody would have expected that at all.
Yeah.
Our best ball league. Let's take a look at where we stand here. Lots of big points with the best ball league here.
My team is bad. My team was so bad.
Amazingly, the 2 highest point scoring teams in the in the normal league, the Vipers and Kid, are the only 2-0 tees. We have at only 2 teams at 2-0, and then we had Smitty taking the team of the week with the most points with Shaheed and Lamb and Kamara and Hurts. It just was one of those. This is such an interesting way to play the fantasy football. Just hit on all cylinders there. Looking at the best ball standings, we have the Vapors and Smitty on top significantly. The only 2 teams that are winless and with victory points. So want to make sure we take a look at the picks contest in which the
baby
are on top by 1 point lead over the Hounds, Pharisees, and the Karate Kid, with the Ghost and Brandon not far behind. Also, big news, Caden alluded to it, the Survivor results. I should say week 2 results. We had 6 teams only survive week 1, and only 50% of those teams survive week 2.
Jason,
Seattle wins in overtime.
Yeah.
Washington wins, just last second, and then the Sweat Sox, Houston doesn't cover the points. So it was just it's amazing.
Jason, I wanted to point out, look at who Chad has won with. He's got 2 rookie quarterbacks, 2 pretty bad teams, and he's 2-0. I get playing against Washington, but he's in, I'm out. So I'm not criticizing, but that is some wild, that's some wild picking that got him there.
I didn't see that at all. That's amazing. It's almost like he's playing the George Costanza vibes. I'm going to pick a team that I know is going to lose, and then they happen to win. It would have worked for a bunch of other leagues, which would have worked for if we would have picked against.
Everybody else is out.
Yeah. So speaking of poor picking, the super contest this week, lots of red on the card.
Bloodbath.
This goes back to the idea of, if I would just choose against the spread, 5 games, if I chose what I thought was going to win and just picked the opposite, how would I do? This week I would have done great. You and I only 1.5 points. Chris, on the other hand, with 4 victories.
Yeah, that's a bomb.
Yeah, going all the way up to just a half a point behind Weiss, and we are in a we're in a slog right now, headed to week 3.
Yeah.
So, boy, this is so much red. I'm really enjoying this. One more added aspect to the super contest. Anybody wants to join next year, let me know. That lends us to the week 3 preview, as we have the Ghosts and Mahoney headed for a matchup.
Yeah. These two teams split the series last year. Actually, the Ghosts won in week 3. Mahoney evened the score in week 14, but then Josh got the one that really counted when he defeated Chris in the championship game. So 2-1, I suppose. Ghosts are dinged up. Boy, they still bring so much to the table. Like, I don't know what to make of Dallas. It helps Chris that Josh doesn't have Lamb like vampiring Dax points anymore. You seem to be able to throw on the Ravens, so Dak should be okay. But and I really like Jared Goff versus the Cardinals. Brian Robinson, I think, is going to run all over Cincinnati. They cannot stop the run through 2 games. But then, boy, Josh Jacobs should just get another healthy dose as long as Malik Willis is out there at quarterback.
Sure.
I thought it was really interesting. Josh has he put Shaheed in over Tyreek Hill. Especially interesting because Chris still has Waddle in there. But yeah, kind of a bold move. But Josh has got the depth. He's like, he's gonna go with it. Very interesting. I'm taking Weiss here.
Oh, you know what? I hate picking the same team as you, but Josh has depth, drafted really well. Even the pickup of Likely and what you just mentioned about how well Shaheed is playing. I also had the Ghosts down just because I don't think that Mahoney. I think Mahoney's going to be looking what you just said at that potentially at 0-2, looking at 0-3, looking at see what the best running backs and quarterbacks are in the 2025 draft. So
oh no.
Let's take a look at Mahomes versus Burrow in the Cardinals versus Rhinos matchup.
Let's go. Yeah. So these two split the season last year, 1-1. The schedule's really fun on this because Mahomes plays Sunday night and then Burrow responds on Monday night. And it's going to be a long game because we got Breece Hall on Thursday night versus the Patriots. Dumb Monday night doubleheader. I don't know what that.
Look how many of your players play on Monday night on multiple teams. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's too much Monday. I don't like it. Both teams here kind of waiting for their tight end to break out. Like feels like they're getting chances. They're both getting a ton of routes. Just the game script hasn't gone the way yet. So it might come down to that if one of us can get the tight end going. Derrick Henry just seems like a sure bet to score every week. Still kind of feel like I got the edge at running back. May swap out Flowers for JSN. I don't know. I think the Cobras win streak continues though. I'm gonna stick with Team Aaron.
Okay, I'm gonna take the Rhinos. I'm gonna take the favorites, the 2-0 Rhinos. Although I say that, I wonder how Jeff's feeling about his quarterback. And Jeff, if you want to weigh in on the message board or send a video in like Caden, Mahomes seems to be a wonderful quarterback for the team, but with the loss of Pacheco and Brown, it seems rather than just scoring a bunch of points, he may just be game managing these to victory. So I'm just very interested in how he feels about Mahomes right now because I don't think he would go. I wonder where he would go if just in a straight quarterback draft as far as fantasy. I mean, he seemed to be somebody who would score 50, 60 points, but scoring's down in the league right now. Field goals are up.
Yeah.
Not as many touchdowns happening and not as many passing touchdowns happening. So it's just a curious spot right now. And I'm just curious, would love to know how you feel, Jeff. So, but you've got here this matchup. Let us know.
Yes. Yeah. These two teams also split the series. Chad's got some big lineup decisions to make. I don't love any of his options too. Cooper Kupp's out. He was going to have his work cut out for him versus Shane no matter what. But I guess Chad's going to roll with Kirk Cousins. I don't love it. He's got Kirk Cousins versus Chris Jones or Justin Herbert versus TJ Watt. Like, pick your poison. Both guys are going to just harass you. Assuming Shane realizes AJ Brown is hurt and replaces him, I like Shane to win.
I also think that Shane's going to take care of Chad. I think that Josh Allen is going to be at home on Monday night, just going to be electric. he's got a really fun Monday night early game matchup
Yeah.
there. I'm gonna take Shane as well. And I also think the Lions are gonna get back on track too. So another reason I picked Josh to win, because I think that the Gibbs, Laporta, I kind of believe in the Lions, and I think that maybe this will be a bounce back week for them. So
go ahead.
Yeah, let's take us through Brandon versus Jeremy.
Yeah, the dude swept the series last season. I don't love either of Brandon's quarterbacks. Jeremy ought to win the quarterback if he chooses, like we talked about the lottery. Running back seems pretty even. I'd worry about Garrett Wilson getting kind of shadowed by Christian Gonzalez. We saw him shut down Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
You got to still leave Wilson in the lineup probably, but Brandon's got a lot of interesting dudes on his team. I'm gonna go with the dude abiding to his first win of the season.
Oh man. Well, I had the dude pick 2 in my in my picks, mainly because I think that he'll end up rolling with Kyler. That just looked like something that you just would be like, I've got all these good options, but Kyler seems to be like the ones who's going to rise to the top. But it is awesome to look over at Brandon and see Wilson, Neighbors, Thomas, Bowers. That's got to feel good for him.
Yeah.
He's got to find a quarterback. I agree. I thought Stafford was going to be awesome, but his offensive line is decimated. He can't throw the ball. No Cooper Kupp, and no Puka Nakua.
Yeah, but man, Jordan Whittington can just take you so far. Marcus Robinson,
I don't know. Trevor Lawrence, Jacksonville seems like they're trying to find ways to invent how to lose a game. I don't know. I think Buffalo's defense at home is really good. I'm going to take Carr as well, which is a bummer.
Wow.
I hate to have too many of the same picks.
I hope cute intern Brandon doesn't quit.
I know. Yeah. Well, yeah, hopefully not. We'll probably pick at least we got one different, because we're very rarely going to pick you. We've got the injury riddled Karate Kid versus the Pharisees. Take us through this.
Yeah. These teams split last season, so watch out, Jason. John still has Higgins in there. I thought he was still going to be out. I hope he plays. I do like John's new toy, Chris Olave. I think the Hellhounds are going to miss that dude. I knew John was shopping him, but I just didn't really have anything I could offer. But yeah, I really like that pickup for the Pharisees. Man, and I think Justin Jefferson's going to play, but even without him, I think you win at wide receiver. Quarterback seems like a Jason win. God, the Stroud-Nico connection. It's devastating. It is weird that Justin Tucker's mediocre all of a sudden, but it's not going to be enough to cost you the game. Jason for the win.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to take the Karate Kid to go undefeated 3-0 as well. It's nice to have Charbonnet and Mason with my 2 keeper running backs being out. Also the Kansas City backfield looks like it's going to be just messy. They've got potentially Kareem Hunt. They've got that rookie named Steele with the hair. They've got
the
catchy passes. I mean, I don't want to carry 4 running backs from Kansas City on my roster. So I've been in situations like that before. Sometimes you just got to ride with another backup. I just think it's going to be messy back there. If I were the Chiefs, I'd be doing some jet sweeps with Xavier Worthy to add him to the running game.
Yeah, worked in week 1.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to the week ahead. The Stroud to Collins, how I feel when they score a touchdown. I don't do drugs. I've never done drugs. It must feel something like that. I don't know what it feels like, but man, when he caught that slant and went in for a touchdown, it just felt like joy just exploding all over my body. And so hopefully we're looking for many more of those throughout the season, which leads us to the game of the week, sponsored by the Oklahoma State Bear, Bobo the Insult Dunk Take Clown.
Oh, my man.
What a throwback to days gone by. Thanks to Bobo for reaching out and sponsoring the show. Aaron Copeland, do you have any memories of Bobo the Insult Dunk Take Clown?
Oh, man. Yeah, we used to just stand there for an hour and just listen to that guy just harass people. It was, I mean, we didn't have internet back then, so this really was about as good as it got. you paid your admission, you got your fried donut burger, and you could just watch him harass fat people and yell at people for missing the bad arms. And I didn't ever try to throw it. I got a bad arm. I'd miss. I'm just here for the show. But yeah, give me the Bobo. Yeah.
I guess you should maybe explain to our younger viewers, like young Caden, this was at a significant area of the fair, and everyone would gather around and watch this. It was something else.
Yeah,
Sure.
he would just antagonize anybody walking by and just let you have it to get you to throw balls to dunk him in the water. And boy, we high entertainment.
That's great. So thanks to
Yeah.
Bobo, the Insult Dunk Tank Clown, for
Yeah.
sponsoring this week's game of the week. Aaron,
Whew.
let us know.
Man, yeah. John 1-1, Jay 2-0. These are two of the highest scoring teams. Boy, Hertz versus Baker is really fun. Sooner versus Sooner seems pretty even. I think Rico Dowdle probably swings the wide receiver matchup in John's favor. But Devonta Smith is way more interesting with AJ Brown out. Devonta Adams may have a career game versus the Panthers, though. Like, I guess you got to avoid J.C. Horn, but I don't even know how much that problem that would be for Devonta Adams at this point. It seems like a Viper win, but I think the Hellhounds might try to make it interesting here.
Well, I don't know who you're going to choose, but I'm going to take the Vipers. But man,
Oh, I said Viper win.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you have Viper win, but hell, I'm going to take the Vipers too. It's hard to go against a 150-point week, even though I may be a prisoner of the moment. But I do love the Hellhounds lineup. Looking at Shake and Bake, Barkley, Lamb, and Smith, just super fantastic. Yeah. I'm looking forward to this game. I also thought it was a runaway game of the week for the SoonerNation Fantasy Football League. Thanks everybody for watching. Any parting shots from the Cobra Kai?
No, just you watch out because we got a little bit of mojo back, and after I stomp the Rhinos, we're gonna be all the way back, baby.
Okay. Worst of luck this week, Aaron. See you guys. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, I hope you lose.